Hi, it's Mama Rose, and Mark and I, although we've been doing carnivore mostly since the 1st of August, I kind of am doing a modified carnivore. I just can't do it all meat. I can't do it. Mark's pretty much been doing it, but we have been needing a little bit of sweet things. So this is my newest concoction, is I've been covering almonds and different nuts with a chocolate because I thought that would be nice. And I got this chocolate at Trader Joe's, and I got it one time and tasted it, and it tastes absolutely terrible if you just take it by itself. It has no sweetener in it at all. It's just 100% chocolate liqueur, 93%, and 7% cocoa nibs. So it's very bitter. So I took one of these and I broke it up into a little pan here, and this right here is 3.5 ounces. And then what I did to mix with it is I got my cocoa butter, which has no carbohydrates in it as well. This is an old bag. I just ordered a new one. This is a big bag. This is like $60 worth of cocoa butter. You can get smaller ones from Earth Shift. They have it on sale now. This is September the 4th. 2019. If you go on their website now, I believe they have it on sale for $16.99 for a pound. But this is what cocoa butter looks like, and whenever I get it all over my hands, I rub it around, but it's pretty solid, and it smells like cocoa. It's wonderful, and it's got nice fat, and it's nice to add to the chocolate. It makes it stretch, and it just gives it another flavor, and I like it. So, and you know, when I like it, we do it. So what I did is I weighed it, and I put 2 ounces of the cocoa butter in here, and then this. And I kind of got distracted. I was going to sweeten it all up ahead of time. So this is what I'm doing, is I'm just putting some of this Lankanto sweetener with vanilla in it, and I'm just gonna, and everything's cool, it's cooling down now. I'm just putting a little bit in, and really on this one we don't really want this sweet. I just don't want it super bitter. So I'm mixing that in, and you can start seeing it kind of coagulating a little, and you just want to taste it so that you don't have that real super bitter flavor in it, and you don't need much. We want this to be kind of dark. And again, I'm just going to put some, this is another powdered sugar. This is nice because it doesn't need to dissolve. It kind of, once it gets wet, it kind of just dissolves. So I'm not putting a lot of sweetener in here. I'm just putting enough to just take the edge off. And I might need to heat this up again a little bit. But I'm just going to set it aside for now because I want to show you what I've been doing. So here are some nuts. These are pecans, and of course I always soak before I use these. I'll buy these in the store, even if they're not organic. I'll soak them. I usually buy raw. I bought these at Trader Joe's. These are raw slivered almonds. And I use those to make this bark right here out of the chocolate last night. So I have 2 different kinds here. The one that we loved was our macadamia nut ones. But because the macadamia nuts were salted with sea salt, it was kind of nice, and people like that. I would have liked a little less salt, so I think I'm going to dust them off. But they were salty, and then the chocolate, which was really very dark chocolate, so it's not very sweet. But it's just a nice combination. And so then what I do too is, and I wanted to show you, is I take the almonds, and I did get some raw almonds. I have the bag somewhere. I wanted to show you. Anyway, they're raw, unfiltered, unprocessed almonds that I get also from Earth Shift, and they're not cheap either. But what I do is I take them, and if you can't afford those and you just want to go get some raw almonds from Trader Joe's, you can get those, and then you want to soak them. I did this early this morning, so you might want to go ahead and you can do it at night before you go to bed or early in the morning. I could have waited till tomorrow, just a few hours, and then what happens is the skin comes right off of See how it is? The skin. I just twist them like this and the skin comes off. And that's what a blanched almond is. See how easy that is? So I wanted to show you that because I go to all this trouble. I go ahead and I soak them. So they're sprouted. And if you were to look at some of these, I probably can find one. Usually at the end, at the very end of the seed, you'll see that little white thing. That's where they will sprout. Now, even though I might not see them sprouting yet, believe me, there's something going on in here, and the enzyme inhibitors have been broken, and they're gonna be digestible. And that's another reason why I'm taking off this outer skin right here. And so a lot of people like Dr. Gundry and will tell you not to eat these unless you take these off. Anybody that I follow in this kind of industry, they'll tell you the same thing. Is if you're going to eat a nut or a seed, even a pumpkin seed or sunflower seed. So I went to Costco today to get my moon cheese. It's on sale, and I like the moon cheese. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, and I'm going to work on it because I do have a freeze dryer. But until then, I got their moon cheese. This is nice because they're already sprouted, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these, and they're lightly salted, and they're organic. And I'm going to use some of these to make some sunflower seed candy as well. So I think I've got enough going on in here. I am going to heat this a little more because things are starting to, there we go, things are starting to get solid again. So if I could figure out how to turn this on, there we go, function. So this is so I don't have to go back and forth to the stove. I have this little induction plate right here, see, that I'm using. There we go, you got it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I put these on after I soak them overnight or for 6 or 8 hours. Then I put them on the dehydrating tray. Now this happens to be an Excalibur. Whatever you have, put them on the dehydrating tray and dehydrate them until they're crunchy, until they're really good. And I've already got some that I've done. I'm going to set these aside. And we did these earlier, and Mark's been a big help. Another thing I'm going to try is pine nuts. Oh, this is getting really hot. Is I like pine nuts. So pine nuts, they're going to be good too. So there we go. I'm just getting this a little warmer because something in here decided it was going to coagulate. Now the first time I tried this, I put, I might have put a little butter with it, but you don't need to. All you need to do is put, I tried half and half ratio, half cocoa butter and half chocolate. But I ended up doing the 3 ounces of the chocolate, that's 1 bar, 3.5 ounces, and then I did 2 ounces of the cocoa butter, and I found that that worked out really good, and I got a nice consistency. I want it to be hard enough where I can hold on to it and it doesn't melt. And when I make my my fat bombs with coconut and the coconut oil and all that, they get there, you know, you can't really hold on to them for very long. So now that I got this melted a little, this is going to be so easy. And because I have 2 kinds of nuts, I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. Now, I'm going to try some of these. These are lightly salted. Let me taste them. So you are going to get like a saltiness to them when you eat them. So I'm just going to pour, I would like a little bit more sweet in here. Just a little bit more. And then I'm going to pour some in here. Okay, I know you're beeping at me. And you basically just want to pour some in and just mix it around. We're going to make like a bark. So it doesn't have to be... you know, you can, you know, because you don't want a lot of the chocolate in there, like spaces in between. Okay, so I got that. I think that'll be good. And then I'm going to get one of my cookie sheets here, and I'm just going to pour that on. Just spread it around. How easy that is, huh? And it's so yummy. Now normally I could make a bigger batch, you know, and do 2 bars of chocolate. Now I looked everywhere for different bars of chocolate, and everybody's got their brands that they use and everything, but everything had bad things in it. Things that I don't want to use. So that's what I liked about this one is it only had the chocolate in it. Now there's a little bit of the rest of the nuts in here, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I want to try to see if I can make some kind of an almond joy bar, because those were like my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and dump some of this in here. And these are really nice here. I don't know, this is beeping and beeping. In fact, I'm going to go get some coconut right now. Okay. Here's my coconut. Let me see what I can do. I haven't done this before, so we're going to try it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should do a little bit of this on here, and then some coconut, and then some nuts. I think I'm nuts. That's not, I don't think that's going to work. Maybe if I mix it all together, I can do something like it. I love my coconut. I'm going to try this. This is going to be coconut almond bark. What this is going to be. And coconut is so good for you. It's got lots of fiber in it, if you care about that. It hardly has any calories. It doesn't have any carbohydrates to speak of. And it's just good for you. So I try to put it in as many things as I can. So this is looking pretty good, but I think I want a little bit more chocolate on these. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to dump it. The nuts that were the best for separating them was those pecans, because they were nice and big. And so when I went to do this with them, they kind of all separated. So this will be interesting when we go to eat this one, because it's got the coconut in it. But generally, we just are going to do the nuts. And of course, my favorite so far, this might be, because I do like the almonds, covered almonds, but is the macadamia nuts. We love the macadamia nuts. And if you look at the nutritional value in the macadamia nuts and in the almonds, there's a lot of good things. The almonds have a lot of magnesium and potassium in them, and iron. The nuts have so many good things in them. I was really shocked. I wish I had the bag. I was going to take the bag, but you can look it up. It's pretty easy to look up. And see, now here we go. Now without any of the other in there, we got these all mixed up. And oh, yummy, yummy, is this good. I'm just going to put a little bit more nuts in. And these nuts, I can feel really good about eating these almonds. You know, you hear a lot of things about how good almonds are for you, because they do have a lot of potassium, a lot of magnesium, a lot of good nutrients in them, and good fiber and everything, but not when they've been radiated and they're not grown organically. So you know, if you can find them where they are, great. I mean, Trader Joe's has some good ones. They're raw. And again, if you want to, you know, get the really best and try Earth Shift, you can try them. I'm going to put a couple in here and see if I can get those mixed up, because I got more. Here. Ooh, yeah, baby. And that's it. So what I did is I just mixed the this bar that I found, and again, you can do whatever you want. I just don't like the canola oils or the all the preservatives that they put in the chocolates, and I don't like the bad oils that they'll use, and so I kind of stay away from those. This was nice because it was pretty pure. It was just, that was it. It was just the cocoa liqueur and the, gotta get it all, you know, and the cocoa nibs. And in this particular bar, if you eat it raw, which it would be disgusting, believe me, I don't know, I can't, and I love dark chocolate, I couldn't do it. I have to have some kind of sweetener. And so that's when I got the idea originally, is I had bought one of those and tried it, and it was so bitter. I was like, I can't handle this. But I thought, you know, it would be good to go ahead and melt it down and use it for other things. So I made the barks, which are right here, which they're not ready yet. I'll put them in the refrigerator, and then later I can take them out and break them apart. And they're gonna kind of be like this, see? So good. So good luck. Don't forget, if you're going to do nuts, soak them overnight. Get those enzyme inhibitors. And if you're buying nuts that have not had the skin taken off, make sure you take the skin off. Soak them overnight. Get your hubby to help you or your kids to help you, and then dry them. If you don't have a dehydrator, put them in the oven. If you have a pilot, if you don't have a pilot, turn the oven on as low as it'll go, and then put those in there, and then shut the oven off, and you can just keep drying them that way. But you do need to get those dry once you've soaked them. And so anyway, have a great time. Hopefully this will help you stay on track. If you have something sweet and delectable to eat, a little treat that you can take with you when you go someplace and everybody's eating things that are sweet, and you're thinking, oh, I'd like to have a piece of that chocolate cake too, or I'd like to have that candy too. You're gonna like this a lot better, because you know, when we eat those things that we're not used to eating, like the cakes, cookies, pies, cakes, and all that stuff, they really don't taste as good as we remember them, and we don't like the way we feel afterwards. So if you really want to be, you know, healthy and feel good, and you can still have stuff like this once in a while, and it's helpful to know where you can go to get a quick thing. And really, this is so quick. Now here I am, I'm taking 18 minutes, but it only takes me a few minutes to melt the chocolate. I've got the nuts all ready. I throw it together, put it on here, put this in the refrigerator. An hour later, I take it out and I break it all up into bark, put it in a Tupperware or something like that, and away we go. It's not really great to travel with. It seems to melt, even though those bars don't melt. So I don't know, maybe it's reheating it. I don't really know the science behind it. I'm gonna take them out and see how long I can get them. But if you go somewhere, you can put them in a cooler and keep them cool. Also, I want to show you the fat bombs that I made that are really good. I'll be right back. These ones turned out really, really good. I was real happy with these. And I got this little mold I wanted to show you at Target. And here they are. My husband cleans them and he doesn't realize they're inside out. So here they are. These, you could use these for ice cubes too. But I got them to use for my sous vide. I want to make little sous vide things, you know, little egg things that you can take with you. And I thought, well, these would be good for the candies. And so that's exactly what I do. And see, it's already melting in my mouth, in my hand. And that's cocoa butter, coconut oil, and then raw cacao, lots of coconut. I'm really not sure what I put in all these, And if I haven't done a video on it, I will. I think I might have. But it's a good, fat bomb's a good thing too. But the nuts are really low, because if you eat a handful of nuts, you can get away with that. I don't even have to have a handful. I just have 3 or 4 with the chocolate on it, and I'm good to go. So the way I look at it, it's really helping me eat less of a good thing than more, because I'm real satisfied with just, 4 or 5 of these. The chocolate is so dark. Anyway, I've talked enough. It's been 20 minutes, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy. Hope you do this.